Welcome, my name is Noah Weber. I'm a Master's of Educational Technology graduate candidate at Boise State University. In fall of 2012, I began my educational journey. But before I reflect and showcase my learning experience, let me first tell you a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, where I then attended Clark University in Dubuque, Iowa, which rests right off the Mississippi River. I obtained my Bachelor of Arts in Education of Physical Education and World History. Upon graduation, I accepted a teaching position at Arvin High School in California, where I've been teaching physical education, coaching varsity boys soccer, and a leader of my department's professional learning community for the past 8 years. I will now guide you through artifacts that I've accumulated that has allowed me to achieve personal and professional growth. One of the more challenging courses I took was Internet for Educators. I had no previous experience with developing and creating web pages using HTML and CSS. Through applying effective time management skills, constantly asking questions, and adhering to best practices in instructional design, I was very pleased with the creation of my web quest that fully entails exploration of the human heart. Not only does this subject matter correlate with state standards, it also serves as a cross-curricular bridge for sophomores who take human anatomy. Through each subsection of my webpage, I have engaging resources that vary from digital images, internet scavenger hunt, embedded flashcards,
pulmonary circulation of blood between the heart and the lungs,
goal-setting activities, and also Cornell note-taking to practice higher-order thinking skills for my students. This also allows for my students to use innovative presentation tools such as Prezi, SlideRocket, and SlideShare, getting outside the box of using just PowerPoint. Along with my web quest, I also have a detailed evaluation rubric for their final presentation to assist them in the creation of their presentation. I'm extremely proud of myself by creating and developing instructional materials through an electronic and mobile platform for distance education. I implemented technology to my sophomores to reach various learning styles. I instilled a constructivist, student-based teaching method that allowed me through my webpage as a facilitator of learning that highlighted students' learning strategies such as kinesthetic, verbal, and visual resources and activities. Along with my web quest, I was also able to provide other teachers if they ever wanted to replicate my lesson plan with a purpose, learner description, prerequisites for student knowledge, learning objectives, how they connect with California high school state standards, subject matter description. For the course Evaluation for Educational Technologists, I learned and applied important concepts and practices in the field of evaluation, including management, models, data sources, analysis, and reporting results. At the school site where I teach at, I was able to really dive into a reading intervention program called Read 180, which is designed for students who struggle with reading vocabulary, spelling, and oftentimes a lack of confidence of the ability to read. My aha moment struck me while I observed the Read 180 class, where I saw a handful of my students participating in the program. I immediately saw how effective learning can be utilized in my own learning environment by adopting the model of Read 180. Through whole group instruction, computer-based adaptive learning, small group instruction, and independent reading, survey results of instructors and students backed up my thought process. I was not only an evaluator, but a professional learning moment occurred through an overlooked program right under my nose at my school site. Differentiated instruction and scaffolding activities were the main components of why students were testing better throughout the year. Testing data showed that these ninth graders were getting out of below basic category and achieving success, with 80% hitting their achievement zone scores. I was able to work with a wide variety of participants such as instructors of this program. students who enrolled in the program. My evaluation method and data collection established awareness to teachers outside the English language learner program of how SDAIE strategies and educational technology can assist students who are struggling in their class. Sharing the evaluation report with the involved stakeholders, which included the Assistant Principal of Instruction, Title I Coordinator, and Special Education Department Chair and Specialist, allowed me to give effective communication whether or not this program was reaching the intended program objectives, which assisted in the decision making of renewing the license of the Read 180 program, or if future changes needed to be made, such as upgrades in technology and instructor support and training. Through this project, I have created a bridge between the English Language Learner Department and numerous academic departments at my school site, and a reputation with my administrators and leadership council on effective reports that are non-biased and professionally done. Through acquiring design skills and delivery of content in a learning management system and advanced online teaching, I was able to achieve a blended learning environment in which students could access projects at their school site or easy access whenever internet was available to them. As you can see through my online course, if you go down to Moodle 4, you'll see that I have a QR strength training exercise poster assignment. Through this assignment, I have clear-cut directions, how to create YouTube videos of tutorials that I recorded, and the actual website where you can download the QR app and the website to generate the code. The example I used was this VSIT strength training poster. You have 4 static images along with a QR code that you can scan with your app. Through my experience as a teacher, oftentimes students need repeated instruction. So, in my physical education class, I was being asked by students how to perform an exercise that I previously modeled. I decided to incorporate technology off a printed muscular endurance poster I created for students to use their smart device at school, or off my hosted online site to scan a quick response code. This also let me tap into differentiated instruction techniques for my individualized education program students, English language learners, and students who may have been absent that day, which I instructed for their PE weight room unit. In the area of physical education, implementing technology can be daunting with large class sizes and little funding at my school site. However, with the adoption of bring your own device to class, this has allowed me to take advantage of what many of my students already have access to and what they love. When scanning the QR code, a video automatically pops up that I created, and this instructional strategy was a way of speeding up the transfer of multimedia content for facilitating personalized learning. Instead of showing visuals of how to perform the activity, and because of the overwhelming positive feedback I received, I had each class create multiple quick response codes for rotating workstations that involve small group collaboration, problem solving, and letting them take ownership of their own learning. I truly feel that by these small little black and white squares that I have achieved a great teaching moment. Through taking challenging classes and setting high expectations by myself and through my professors, I have come away with specific intangibles that have made me a more efficient instructor. These include things such as always striving to create meaningful content, asking questions if I'm unaware with something, and also knowing when and how to implement learning objectives. Technology is constantly changing and evolving. It is my responsibility to never forget the learning theories and best practices in educational technology. In addition, to constantly research new and innovative tools and software that promotes learning for the students that I teach. Also, this has festered and innate desire to share and collaborate with my fellow colleagues of how to implement technology into their lesson plans. By learning about and intertwining engaging, content-specific Web 2.0 tools into my instruction has given me the confidence to evaluate their effectiveness and to assess the learning objectives that I've set forth for my students to accomplish. This has led to a bank of quality learning and teaching resources that I've applied to my educational setting for successful learner performances for specific tasks, skills, and assessments. I will not only practice what I've learned, but I will be an active ambassador to my students, colleagues, and administrators of how educational technology can develop a learning environment that is accessible, engaging, and constantly steering in the right direction to student achievement. I'm fully prepared to take on any challenge that lies ahead of me. I will ignite passion for learning to those I come into contact with, and I will never stop believing in my abilities to grow as a lifelong learner and instructor.